The silence of the alien planet was suffocating, broken only by the distant hum of unknown energies. The lone explorer moved cautiously through the rugged landscape, drawn by something he couldn't explain. As he crept closer to a jagged cliffside, a strange, almost unearthly glow caught his attention. At the edge of the rocky precipice, something, or someone, was chained to the stones. His breath hitched as he saw the figure more clearly. A woman, though not like any human he had ever encountered. Her ears were sharp and elongated, her eyes glowed a piercing yellow, and her skin shimmered with an ethereal hue. She was a hunter, a creature of unimaginable strength. But she was bound, trapped, the chains pulsating with a strange energy. Her eyes locked onto his, and a low, dangerous growl rumbled from her throat, the sound unsettling in the quiet of the night. The explorer couldn't move. He felt drawn to her, but at the same time, a deep instinct warned him to stay away. She was dangerous. He could feel it in the air around him. Despite her chains, despite her captivity, there was an undeniable aura of power about her. Slowly, almost reverently, she spoke, her voice a low growl. "Do not come closer, human. You do not know what you awaken." But it was too late. Her words only fueled his curiosity. Who was she? What was she doing here, chained to these rocks? What had kept her captive for so long? So on. Days passed, as the explorer returned each day, watching her from a distance. He learned that she wasn't like him. She wasn't human. She was an alien wolf huntress from a warrior race, feared across the galaxy for her unmatched strength and cunning. Her race had once ruled this planet, but now she was a prisoner, chained by unknown enemies to prevent her from escaping. The chains, as it turned out, were not mere restraints. They were magical, ancient relics, created by beings far older than any of them. Her race had once ruled this world, hunting down and vanquishing anyone who dared challenge them. But now, she was the last of her kind, and the chains held her power in check, preventing her from unleashing the full force of her abilities. One evening, under the cover of a dark storm, she tried to break free. Her muscles rippled as she struggled against the chains, her body thrashing in a futile attempt to escape. The chains glowed brighter, their hum growing louder, reverberating through the rocks. The explorer stood frozen in place, watching the huntress, torn between fear and awe. Could he help her? Would he even dare? In that moment, the huntress met his gaze. "I do not need your help," she snarled, her voice fierce. But there was something in her eyes, something that made him wonder if she truly did want freedom. The chains reacted violently to her defiance, sparks flying from their links as if they were alive, sensing her desire to break free. That night, something happened. Something the explorer hadn't anticipated. The huntress released a bone-chilling howl into the night, a sound that seemed to shake the very air. The ground beneath them trembled, and the storm above seemed to respond, lightning crackling as the winds howled in response. The howl echoed across the desolate landscape, reaching deep into the heart of the planet, stirring something ancient beneath the surface. The explorer had no idea what he had just unleashed. The chains, once glowing weakly, now blazed with an intense light. And from deep within the planet, something stirred. Something dark and old, far more dangerous than the huntress herself. The energy that had been dormant for so long was waking, responding to her cry. Terrified, the explorer rushed to her side, now desperate to stop whatever she had triggered. "What have you done?" he shouted. But the Huntress only stared ahead, her expression unreadable. "You cannot stop it," she whispered. "You never could." The ground began to quake violently, and from the shadows, colossal shapes emerged. Ancient guardians, creatures that had been bound to protect her. These creatures, born from the planet itself, had once kept her race in check, but now they were here, drawn by the power of her cry. They were not just creatures. They were the planet's will made flesh, designed to prevent the Huntress and her kind from escaping. The Huntress turned to the explorer. "Leave now," she said, her voice suddenly softer. "Before it's too late." But the explorer couldn't leave. He was too far in now. He had to know, who was this woman? What had she been protecting? Why was she chained? They fought together as the guardians closed in, their massive forms moving with deadly purpose. The Huntress fought with the grace of a predator, her chains now glowing brighter, sparking with energy. But it wasn't enough. She was still too weak, and the guardians were too powerful. With each swing of the Huntress's chains, the sky grew darker, and the energy within the planet seemed to pulse, as though the very Earth was alive, watching them. Just as it seemed they were doomed, the chains cracked. Just a small break, but it was enough. With a roar, the Huntress broke free, her body glowing with the raw energy of her race. She was no longer just a prisoner. She was a force of nature, unstoppable. The Guardians, sensing the shift in power, hesitated. They were no longer in control. But before the Huntress could fully unleash her power, the ground erupted beneath them. A massive creature, darker and more terrifying than any of them could have imagined, rose from the depths of the planet. It was the creature she had awakened. The chains had kept it imprisoned, just as they had kept her contained. But now, the beast was free. It was a nightmare, a colossal force of destruction, and it was heading straight for them. The Huntress looked at the explorer, regret flashing in her eyes. "This is what you have set in motion. You should have left me chained," she said, as the beast's shadow loomed over them. And in that moment, they both realized the terrible truth. Some forces were never meant to be set free. The storm raged, and the beast's roar filled the air, as the Huntress and the explorer faced their inevitable fate. And in the distance, the howl of the Huntress could be heard once more.